Let's do a video. Let's get this out of the way real quick. First up, R6 Pro. Dude, it's on the way. It's going to be sent today. Everything's inside. You good to go? It's been cleaned, wiped, DNA removed, much as I can. This is my stuff you gotta take when you walk out the door with your key. High-tech system. So that'll be going out when I go out, which will be for lunch. So that's gonna be gone. Dude, I got the stacks. Thank you very much. I'll take good care of it before I send it back to you. Okay. Now I remember there used to be a day where I said people who pay over $1,000 for a music player are fucking stupid. I believe I said that. It wasn't that long ago. And then I became that guy. And I don't even care. I'm not ashamed at all. This looks like a ridiculous system, but when you start to get several DAPs that are over the $2,000 range, where do you put them safely and securely becomes a legit problem. I don't want this to be damaged in any kind of a way. It costs over $2,000, costs over $3,000, costs 28, close to $3,000. Let's say 25 in Japan, 25 4, 65, 75, 85, 9, 4. Let's say 9,400 in the Japanese, and then change that to dollar, and you got about $7,000, a little over $7,000, actually $7.5 probably worth of music players right here. And this isn't a hey look at my shit. This is I'm always coming up with ways to like the covers from Mitre. I got my logo put on it. Now other people do that. The Mini XLR switch out system, I did that. A lot of people are doing that now. I think that some companies, and I advise the company that takes care of me, why don't you guys offer something maybe a little smaller, different, where you could put like 2 DAPs and then several holes like that they make for the iBasso circle type. You could put 1, 2, 3, 4 of your favorite IEMs plus 2 of your DAPs and store them safely, and also take them with you without any chance of anything going wrong. And you can lock it too, by the way. Anyway, if someone steals the whole thing, you're fucked. But yeah, lock thing is not so important. That this thing can be moved around without any issue. I'm going to open it up. Of course, it's in the same position as when I closed it. So I became the guy that I used to mock, and I don't even care. Sony Gold has a warmer, if you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. Low 2 doesn't have gold, it's just got the gold knob. Feels kind of pathetic, in a way. That's it. That's all the gold you got is that fucking knob. This lit last night has not the same as the WM1Z, but not the same as the SE100. The SE100 was very neutral, or you could say airy, kind of slides up into the leans slightly treble. Definitely not warm, the SE100. I would say that this is a little bit warm. Does that have anything to do with the grounding and the fact that they took brass and then coated it with gold? And I don't know, but it's got or companies take this and as a go flag for making stuff sound slightly musical because they're going for this crowd, which embraced it happily. It's not pure stone cold neutral, but it sold really well, and kind of the gold is associated with the little bit more musical playback. Are they doing that with this? I don't know. It sounds more like that than it sounds like that, which I would consider to be stone cold surgical. neutral. So let me put this out of the frame. Astro's got its own. I can't tell you how much I love God, best case ever. Best case, best combo of design, color, and case that I've ever held in my hand. Just absolutely. Just so dope. My goodness, what an absolute gorgeous device. Just so blown away by the whole thing. See if I can go ahead and lower this. Here we go. Good ghetto. Okay. Start it up. Okay. Somebody was commenting, talking about they thought the screen was not that great. Actually, it's one of my favorites, and the quality of the screen, like, I mean, how it runs to the edges and just the quality. It's like Gorilla Glass, but I don't know if they advertise it as being Gorilla Glass. It is a gorgeous unit, absolutely gorgeous. Sorry for the tripod stuff. What I discovered today while I was playing with it was, can I go back? I don't know if I like that button, so I'm going to switch that out. In the album section, I can actually go to 3. It started out as 2, but I can go to 3. Now compare this with the R6 Pro, which I did, and if I do something like this, because of the way that they have a coating, and I've talked about it before, where they shade fill each box in a certain way that makes absolutely no lagging whatsoever. It's not technically loading the album art faster. To be honest, it is. Side by side with the R6 Pro. Go look at the R6 Pro. This is actually, doesn't have 3 gigs of RAM, but it's got the same display of the albums that you would get with the R6 Pro. Listen to these side by side because R6 Pro is going out the door. This is one of the nicest devices I've heard, and I've got that whole new item fever thing going on, but I just love this a lot. The navigation system of Astle and Kern is second to none in the hobby, in my opinion. Nobody does it like these guys do it. Are you looking at this like I am? Because I'm looking through the camera at this and just thinking that this is, if I had a dream of a music player, I mean the way that it's laid out. I like the size of this better than the SE100. The size of this is almost exactly the same as R6 Pro as far as the height and width goes. The contrast is good. It's not leaking or whatever is the problem with the Low 2. It's got a much larger screen than the WM1Z has. This album art display is important for me because I do videos. Do you guys remember the videos during the summer where I always had the SE100 and I would be like, okay, the next album and then I did. You guys can watch my library as I'm explaining what I'm doing. So while the SE100 was gone, I missed it terribly. I went to get the SE100 and they had this up. It's 200 limited quantity, and then I went for this. So the user interface is basically identical to the SE100 and also the SP1000. They're really using the same thing. I think digital out is something that might be different between the SE100 and its big brother flagship, but other than that, you're basically looking at the same interface, which is just, you know, go by songs, go by album, cue sheets. So stuff with cue sheets if I want, or I can go back. And this is what I started with when I first started up. I thought, oh, okay, it's got the small screen, so only 2 albums. What I didn't realize that I could just go into this, and I'm back to where I was with the SE100. Slightly smaller screen, but as I'm doing a video, it's really not going to be much of an issue. I got to get one of those little like stands, those spider stands where you can adjust them to all kind of things, and then just get that so I can hold this up. And while I'm doing a video, I can say, oh, you know, I listened to I was listening to Rat, and I listened to this track, and this was very easy for doing reviews. So today's really kind of just a closer look with better lighting. It's stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I wonder if it will fit in that. Hold on just a second. Oh, that'll work. Doesn't quite do the whole gold thing as well, but instead of taking the case on and off, I can just go like this. And these are the three that I want. This is the surgical do anything. Someone says, oh, you what you'd really need to do is cut down 8K. Oh, okay. Come on, let's go. You do that like a boss. Dedicated chips. People say, why does he keep talking about that? Because software processing and hardware processing are not the same thing. One introduces a ton of distortion, and one does a better job. And this does better than a software solution like Neutron, which I love, but you're going to run into issues when you start putting 55 hertz up by 5 dB. You're starting to play with. Not going to happen with this device. This is just OG gold, and this is nouveau riche. This is new money gold right here. This is Astos. They both have the same kind of tone, musical and rich. It's got nothing to do with like gold equals that, because this does have gold on it, but it's super neutral. So these are beautiful bookends, because these are good for music lovers. I might do reviews to be sure of stuff with this, because this doesn't add anything to the music, which is, if I'm listening to music drivers, that's what I want. This one I don't know yet, but for like explaining in my video what I listen to, this would be perfect. And also for my joy of listening. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Love it so much. So very happy. And I'm out. And your R6 Pro's coming, bro. And I'm out. I'm going to do a full video for this thing, obviously. This is just a in the bright light, better quality. First impressions, it's got a slightly warmish musical tone to it, which is not something that I found to be present with the regular SE100. So there is a slight difference in the sound to my ears between the neutral to slightly treble-ish, airy SE100 and this SP1000M with the gold. Sounds kind of like what Sony tried to do with the WM1Z on purpose. And I think maybe A&K is going for that same group in multiple ways. One, the gold, and two, with the comfortable, familiar tuning that WM1Z lovers might like. I find it to be leaning in that direction. And I'm out.
Selling cocaine, the ripping shows, live on stage with hoes yelling my name.